Drumroll please. Giveaway time. Got a dupe alert here, guys. Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the new Colourpop Love Struck collection. This is their mini palette, a collection of 5 mini palettes. They are a 5-pan palette. I only was able to get 3 out of the 5 because before I could purchase them, 2 were sold out. So I have 3 of the 5. The other 2 I will be getting as soon as I can get them. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about each palette individually, whether I think it's a well put together palette, color scheme wise, is the quality there consistent with their typical formula. And I'm also going to be showing you a quick little sped up sneak peek of the look I created, because I did create a look with each palette so you guys can see each palette swatched, used, and I will tell you my final review on what I think of each palette. I also in this video did test for the very first time the Pretty Fresh, we're off to a great start today, the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation, along with the Pretty Fresh Concealer. Where are you? Concealer. I did test these for the first time in this video. I'm going to just touch base quickly on like my thoughts on that. I have tested the foundation all 3 days, so I think I have a pretty good idea of what I think of it. I am wearing it today. The concealer I tested 2 of the 3 days, and I also, this is a it's a lot in this video, so we're gonna get right down to it. I also tested some of the Blush Stix. So we have lots to review. I did film each product being tested and used, and again, I will have swatches of everything as well. Also, before we get started, it is, drumroll please, giveaway time. We have a giveaway. I love doing these giveaways. I know I'm just slowly but surely growing. I'm still a small little channel, but I mean, I'm still grateful for every single one of you. No matter where this channel takes me, I do want to say thank you to everybody that does take the time to subscribe to my channel, comment on my videos, like my videos. So I do like to give you guys a thank you. And so today's giveaway is going to consist of 2 items. Number 1 is actually a Colourpop product, so I thought it was fitting to include this giveaway in today's video. It is the Boudoir Noir eyeshadow palette. This is one of the eyeshadow palettes in the Christmas collection, which I did review. So if you want to see this palette swatched and reviewed, I will link the video below. So I will be giving that away along with the Sephora Favorites Lash Stash collection. So I also did a review on this, which I kicked myself for taking so long because it was way too late, way too late. I kind of forgot how early the Lash Stash launches every year, and I didn't do the review till December, so I'm really sorry guys, but I did go that's why it took me so long, because I wanted to test every single mascara really multiple times to get a good idea of what I thought of it. And then I also in the video went over every single product in here, talked about what I thought about it, and had footage of each product being applied. So if you want to take a look at that review, I'll link that below as well. But this is going to be going to one of you lucky subscribers that enters my giveaway in today's video. And it basically, if you don't know what the Lash Stash is, you get 2 full-size mascaras, a set of false lashes, and a bunch of mini lashes. There's typically also a mini primer in there. You get a lot of mascara for your money. So this one, because it's the Canadian one, has the Tarte Surfer Curl Mascara. If you're American, the one that you would have gotten would have had the Grande Lash serum. So that's the only difference between the 2. For example, one of the full-size mascaras is the Pat McGrath Fetish Eyes. You get a value of $208. Again, that's in Canadian. So that is the giveaway for today. The Colourpop palette and the Sephora Favorites Lashstash Mascara Wardrobe. I will be letting you guys know how to enter and when it will be ending at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. So yeah, now that we've gotten all that out of the way, let's get started. By the way, this video is not sponsored. I just want to put that out there. I'm talking about a lot of Colourpop stuff, and I'm giving away a Colourpop palette. It is not sponsored. I was not sent any of the stuff for the giveaway. I did purchase it myself. I just want to put that out there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is quickly talk about the foundation, concealer, and Blush Stix and what I thought about them, and then I'm going to get to the palettes. If you came here specifically for the palette reviews and swatches, then skip ahead to this time right here, and it will be the palette review. So the Pretty Fresh, why do I keep wanting to call this the Pretty Fresh? The Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic hydrating foundation. I do have combination skin. I have very textured skin. I'm acne prone, but I do also have dehydrated skin. That's where the combo comes into play. I do get oily, but I also have dehydrated skin. So a lot of foundations that are more matte look very dry on my skin and don't flatter my skin. So it's like the worst of both worlds. So this guy, I was a little bit worried it was gonna be too like dewy on me, but it really isn't that dewy. Upon application, it is more of a natural finish foundation, which is my preferred finish. I really enjoyed the way that it sat on the skin, looked on the skin. It set nicely. I really, really enjoy the coverage on it. It is a medium coverage, but it is buildable. So I have a lot of scarring. I do break out quite frequently because life is great and I'm super lucky that way. Just for every day, I like a more medium coverage, and then I can kind of build it where I need it. And this is the perfect example of that. I really enjoy the way that this looks. It's not the longest wearing foundation I've ever used because it is hydrating and because I have combo skin. If you have dry skin, I think you will love this guy because it does look very flattering. Even if you have dehydrated skin, I can see where that hydration and the hyaluronic acid comes into play because it really does make your skin look plump and juicy and healthy without looking super dewy or greasy or oily. So I think if you have dry skin, you will absolutely love this, and I think it would last a little longer. If you have combo skin to oily skin, just beware. You may want to apply a mattifying primer, make sure you set it, and maybe even a mattifying setting spray. I find that it kind of is like I have to find that balance. Whereas if I use mattifying foundation, I typically have to use a very hydrating primer and a hydrating setting spray. Like my skin is like, there's a science to it. I did feel like it did last. I think the first 2 days that I wore it for at least 8 hours. And I didn't really notice much shine, a little bit on the forehead, a little like in the T-zone, a touch, but nothing drastic. So I think it held up pretty well considering it is a hydrating foundation on my combination skin. But I did want to warn you, again, keep in mind it is hydrating. So if you are prone to creating a shine, you may have to touch up if you're wearing it more than like 6 to 8 hours. But I mean, realistically, that's most. I did get it in the shade Fair 20N, and again, there will be a swatch of this at the end for reference if you'd like. Then the concealer, I have this in Fair 10N because I do like to highlight my under eyes, so I wasn't really able to use it on blemishes. This again had a more medium coverage. It was buildable, but if you're looking for next level, erase my whole face and plaster a new one on me, this isn't going to be it. I think though, the way it's advertised, you kind of know it's going to be a little bit more of a natural concealer. That being said, with a little bit of building, it did layer pretty nicely and it did look really, fresh because I got a bit of a lighter shade. It really brightened my under eyes. I think it sat well on top of this foundation, and I think it looked really, really beautiful. That being said, I think I prefer the foundation if I had to pick between the two. This one I felt didn't last as long as I would have liked. It did crease a little bit underneath my eyes, and I did notice around my nose and on my chin where I applied it, it did kind of get a little bit broken down throughout the day at the end of the day. The second day that I wore it, I did use my little trick, putting a eyeshadow primer underneath my base makeup. I think I'm going to be doing a video on that because it's game changing for me and I want to share that with you guys. But that definitely did help, which it does with almost all of my concealer. I don't know if I'm obsessed with this like I thought I was going to be, but I definitely really liked the foundation. Then the blush stick, I got it in the shade Cool It and in the shade Invite Only. So I applied the shade Cool It on the first look and today's look, so I'm wearing it today. It is a beautiful dusty pink, a little bit of a mauvey pink, and it is a really, really beautiful formula. I actually am obsessed with these. If you've been watching my channel, you will know I have fallen in love with cream blushes this year. I've been testing a lot of them and I'm really impressed with these. Again, they have a very good rating and I was excited to try them and I was not disappointed. They apply well underneath powder, over top of powder. They're pigmented, creamy, blendable, and buildable. They're just really easy to work with. They look very flattering on the skin and they give a very natural flush. I love cream blushes because they soak into your makeup and look very natural, so I really, really enjoyed this one. Invite Only is a little bit more of a warmer shade. It is described as a rosy terracotta. Yeah, you know what? I really do think that is a good description. Again, they're very pigmented, but they do blend out really, really well. Again, this is a more warm tone shade. I really, really, really enjoyed that as well. So now for the main product of this video that I'd like to review, and that is the Love Struck mini palettes. So they did come out with 5, as I mentioned. There's a really cool toned, almost grayish palette. That one was sold out, unfortunately, and there was a more like golden one, unfortunately. So the first one that I did was the Crush palette. Take a look at these guys. What do they remind you of? Does this not look a little bit like a dupe? Does it not? So if you are not familiar with Natasha Denona, it is a more high-end, very expensive brand. They have these mini palettes. These retail for $25 US. And when Colourpop, when I saw the like the advertisements for these guys, I'm like, wait a second. Colourpop, what? That looks like Natasha Denona. These retail for 10. So I will say we got a dupe alert here, guys. These are more squared, whereas the Natasha Denona ones are obviously more rounded. And you do get 4.15 grams. And then in the Natasha Denona, you get 4 grams. So the Colourpop ones are less than half the price, and you get 0.15 grams more product. So you get more product and it's cheaper. I would say, in my personal opinion, a dupe. But I don't think a lot of the color schemes are like exactly the same. I'm not saying that color scheme wise they've duped them, but just the idea of these mini 5-pan palettes, very slim, compact packaging, the clear top, like don't you see this? Comment below if you agree with me. I'd like to actually hear your opinion. Do you guys agree? Are these dupes, or do you think I'm just losing it? Obviously there's minor details that are different. Again, Colourpop ones are more squared off. The Colourpop one have a little bit more detailing on the front. Colourpop one, the back label is not centered, which really bothers me. Look at the back labels. They are not centered. Does that bother you guys too? Because it really irritates me. So anyways, let's get into what I think about these. So the first look, and again, after I'm done talking about each and every one of them, I'm going to have little sped up quick sneak peeks in how I created each look. So the first palette I used was the Crush palette. This is a very warm toned palette, you will see. I don't like that there's not like a light brow bone inner corner highlight. I personally need to do that in every look I do. It doesn't matter if I'm doing like a purple look, an orange look, a red look, a brown look, a green look. I want my inner corner pizzazzed, my brow bone pizzazzed. I want them shining. I need an inner corner highlight. The only metallic that you get, which is okay, like I don't mind there being a lot of mattes. I do really like that about this palette. You only get this like bright kind of coppery, orangey, bronzy shade, which is stunning. And look at that pigmentation and payoff. Love their formula. And I do really think that these palettes, the formula is through and through consistent with their typical formula. So I do really, really like the colors that they included, but I do wish that they had an inner corner highlight. I don't know, I guess they could only include 5 shades, so how much can you do, right? They had light enough shades for fair skin that you can create really good transition shades, and they had 3 out of the 5 shades were matte, which I do like because I think mattes are very important in creating a balanced and well put together look. So I really enjoyed this palette, and I enjoyed the look I was able to create with it. Then I did yesterday the Cherish palette. This is a very cranberry, rich, reddish, undertoned palette. I think I liked this one a little bit more than the Crush one. Number one, they give you an inner corner highlight. So really beautiful inner corner, bright, fun. You can also sheer it out, like you could fluff it with a brush. You could use it on the lid. They give you 2 mattes, but I think the options that they give you are still good enough to create a good crease. And I think each palette gives you a sequin. Yeah, each palette gives you a sequin, which if you're not familiar with that formula, it's basically a matte shadow with little micro glitters in it. So it's very natural. So if you're not huge into super shiny, glittery, glistening metallics, then this is a more natural option. I really thought that this was a very well put together palette as well, and I was able to create a nice look. I really enjoyed this as well. Then the last palette that I used, the Amor palette, and that's the one that I'm wearing today. I really am obsessed with this look. This one is a little bit more glam because it does include a pressed glitter. It is a really beautiful shade. It is like a multi-colored glitter, almost like iridescent. It comes with a darker metallic, a lighter sequin, and then 2 mattes. Again, I think the variety in textures, I really like that they do that because you can create really beautiful looks with the different textures. And again, giving you 2 mattes and giving a lighter transition shade, I think is very helpful for helping to blend out and creating that perfect transition and blend. So I really liked this palette as well. I think each palette, considering they only have 5 shades, gave you enough to create a full look. So I really enjoyed the palettes. I think that they are perfect additions to Colourpop's brand for those of you that just want a little taste of Colourpop, or just a little like travel friendly palette, something maybe more affordable, like it's only $10. So that is the end of my reviews for today. Again, in a second, I'm going to have each palette I did a look with, and I did record it. So I'm gonna have it like sped up for you guys. If you wanna follow along, if you own these palettes, you can follow along the looks that I created, get some inspiration or ideas for using these palettes, or just to see them being used. So now to the part that you guys have been waiting for, the giveaway. So if you want to enter today's giveaway for the Colourpop Boudoir Noir Holiday Palette and the Sephora Favorites Lashstash Mascara Wardrobe, then all you have to do is make sure you're subscribed to my channel. And then the last thing you have to do to enter this giveaway is comment below. So in the comments below, what I want you to do is comment what your favorite look I created is. Is it today's look using the Amor palette? Was it the Cherish look I created? Or was it the Crush look I created, the warm one? All you have to do is comment below which look was your favorite, and that is it. That is all you have to do to enter. Quick, simple, easy, and you could win the giveaway. But if you'd like more entries, then all you have to do is click the link down below. It will say Instagram entries. All you have to do is click the link. That will link you to my Instagram post where I have a photo of these 2 things. It'll say giveaway on it. You just have to make sure you're following my Instagram and comment tagging at least a minimum of 1 person. You can have a maximum of 4 tags, so that will be a maximum of 5 entries per person. So that is all you have to do to enter. And if you want the additional entries on Instagram, please make sure in your comment below with your original entry, like down below in this video, make sure you put your tag, your username from Instagram. Make sure you write what your username is, because if I don't know that, I won't be able to know who to add the entries for. So you may not get your additional entries. So make sure you do that if you're going to be doing the Instagram entries. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you for subscribing and watching and liking my videos. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe and enter the giveaway, guys. It's a good one. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time.